Welcome to KTAL News Now. I'm your host, Marlo Layson, and today I'm joined with a very special guest who some of you may be familiar with, Miss Leona Gray. She's a member of the Shreveport Police Department, but today she is talking in her unofficial capacity as a SocialCon ambassador. For those of you who know, I've been covering SocialCon since it was announced. It is a event that's going to bring together digital marketers and content creators and those who want to be in the content creator space so that they can learn more. So Leona is going to tell us all about how she got tapped to do this and some of what she does in the community. Welcome, Leona.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about how you got tapped to be one of the SocialCon ambassadors.
Well, Cal reached out, and we've worked before together, and so I guess she saw me doing my thing, and she hit me up, and so that's pretty much how we got started.
Okay, so you are a member of the Shreveport Police Department.
Correct.
You are you're the face or one of the faces of their recruiting campaigns.
Yes.
Tell me how that kind of happened. Were you doing content and the department noticed what you were doing? Were you, did they just tap you for it because you're just a good community face? How did that happen?
No, not necessarily. Say about a year ago, a few of us was asked to go and take some photos for recruitment purposes. And this year they decided to use it, and that's how it got out there. When you are in the face of the public, you truly have to know how to use social media the right way. And you have to be able to control the narrative properly while still showing up as your authentic self.
Absolutely. And I think that that's part of what makes you unique. I mean, police officers in particular have a difficult duty, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're part of a community, but you're also there to provide safety and law enforcement for the community.
Correct.
And sometimes those two things have a difficulty jiving. But when I saw the reception that you got from the community, once those posters got out, once the police department started promoting it, and how much people love you, I think that that says a lot about how you're using your platform.
Exactly. Yes, that is so true. Showing up authentically is key. Building community is key. And it's not about like how many followers you have. It's about actually building relationships with people that support you. And that's where the movement starts.
So would you consider yourself a movement, if you will? And if you don't mind explaining kind of what you think your movement or your ministry or your online presence says about you.
So for me, purpose is everything. And I do my best to show up in any capacity with that in mind, that this is my purpose. And I truly want to help people become their best selves, inside and out. That's from fitness, life coaching, and my media business. All of that ties into my passion for purpose and people.
What would you say to people who see you, right? You just named so many things, so many interests that you have, so many spaces that you occupy. What would you say to people who are looking to present their best selves, people that are looking to take some of their interests and brand them behind who they are and their authenticity?
I'll say this: the real secret is truly showing up as your authentic self. Because sometimes we get so caught up with the algorithm and the trends, not realizing that people are looking to connect with the actual person, not the product, the purpose, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So what are some of the things that people can expect? They come to SocialCon, they say, oh, Leona's going to be there, so I got to be there. What are some of the things that you are looking forward to being able to share and some of the interactions that you all are planning to have?
So I'll say this about SocialCon. Events like this is not just about networking. It's fuel for your vision. Like whether you are a seasoned entrepreneur, someone that's just looking to start their brand, staying in front of the social media trends is so important because it will make or break you as far as in being visible and not being visible. And some of the things I feel like you have to do is learn the skills and learn how to navigate through social media. So with SocialCon, people will have access to the leaders who know how this works. They'll have the tools that they need to get started once they leave. And I think that the biggest thing is just being in the room with like-minded people is a huge, huge thing with us. We need that.
Getting ahead of the trends, but also using your platform in a correct way, right? To display the brand that you want to display. That can sometimes be tricky when we're hopping on trends. What would you say to a young professional, whether it be another police officer, a nurse, a firefighter, somebody that's trying to humanize their industry and show that there are people behind those industries? What would you say to them in terms of creating content that walks the fine line between trending and protecting your profession?
Okay, that's a good one. I would say first, know who you are. Knowing who you are will then give you a path to take on what you need to create. And you stick with that because that's who you are. And your people who's for you will be for you. They will follow you. And when it comes to being a professional, whether it's, like me, law enforcement, or just a content creator, staying true to that path is what's important.
So SocialCon is going to be on June 7th. It's coming up in a few short weeks.
Yes.
It's going to be at the 11 Event Center. There are local content creators like yourself who made a big name for yourself. You have a pretty nice following, and you have some really loyal supporters. Tommy Nard has been here. We've had a couple other SocialCon ambassadors that are going to be here. They're also bringing in people from the outside, people who aren't necessarily from Shreveport. Some are from Louisiana, some are from Texas. So it's going to be a great, if you will, gumbo of content creators who are going to be sharing and providing those experiences for people who are in the space and haven't cracked the code, for people who maybe have hit a plateau and they're wondering why they're not growing,
Yes.
And for people who just are curious about being in this space and want to learn from the best. So what are some of the things that you're looking forward to in terms of that sharing experience?
So for me, I'm actually looking for more tools to add to my tool belt, if that makes sense, with social
Absolutely.
media. I'm looking to connect with people that's on the same level or above me because I am trying to still grow in that area. I don't know it all, and I'm open to always to learning. So I think for me, I really do want to get to know how social media works and how it works and how it could work for me even more now since things have grown and exploded, if that makes sense. Yes.
It's cool to say it exploded. I mean, it is a testament not just to a social media presence,
Yeah.
but also to the work that you put into the community, the love that you put into the community through your job. I see you at events every now and then in your uniform, and you're always you're always engaging and interacting. So I think that you're a great reflection of Shreveport Police Department and a great pick for somebody as they're trying to draw new recruits and police officers to join that force.
Absolutely.
What would you say to young officers who are looking to grow their career, or young people who may be thinking about exploring police work? What would you say to them in this social media age, right, where people are going to come in, they may already have a social media presence, where people are going to come in, they may want to share the little insights about the job. What would you say to them about walking that fine line?
I'll say it is okay to be it's okay to be yourself, but you also have to know that within the job, you have rules and regulations that you have to abide by. And I think that as long as you abide by those, you're fine, because this job calls you to be held at a higher standard. It really does. And so when you show up, whether it's in the job field or on social media, you have to be your best self. That is the biggest thing, because you're not just a representation of yourself. You're representing your family. You're representing the community. This is what you're doing. And so I always say to myself before I post something, or I ask myself, is this the best reflection of me? Is this going to hurt or help who I am? And I do think that having a relationship with God plays a big part in all of that, because if you keep him first and you stay on that path, I don't think that you would have to worry about, hey, am I posting something wrong or not? Because you know for a fact that if it doesn't align with who God called me to be, then it's not something I need to be doing.
And I think you said the secret keyword there is alignment, right?
Yes.
In terms of having a social presence, in terms of not burning yourself out by creating content based on a character.
Exactly.
Someone that you are not.
Being burned out, that is a big one. That's a big one. I think that people, especially people that's new to social media and trying to build their brand, that's one of the biggest things that I hear people talk about, being burnt out. And so I do think that SocialCon is a place where you will learn how to manage that, because sometimes all it takes is for you to find one day that you're free to just do a bulk load of content, and there you have it for the whole month. And so that will help to prevent burnout. That's definitely big.
There you have big tips from Leona Gray to prevent social media burnout. Be smarter, work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
That's a major tip. So what is next for you, if you don't mind kind of exploring that? What you named several businesses that you lead. You also are a leader at the Shreveport Police Department.
Yes.
In terms of morale and community and all of those things. What is next for you? Let's say within the next 5 years, what are some things that you would like to accomplish?
So for me, with everything that has happened, I truly see that this movement is needed that I'm starting, because I do want to create a platform for those that are experiencing things that I just experienced. And for that little girl, for the woman, I think that being able to show up as your authentic self and being able to navigate through some of those tough times is key. And so I do want to build a movement with this. I want to be able to help others with life coaching, mindset, learning those skills. And so that's my next step, to actually go in full force with the coaching business, the life coaching business, and creating a movement.
One element of social media that will always be with us, that we won't be able to escape it, is negativity.
Ooh.
And sometimes negativity can draw so much attention and energy that you forget your mission, you forget your purpose. How do you navigate negativity and people who give you negative feedback or want to kind of project onto you someone that you are not?
Truth moment. I pray. It's easier said than done, because sometimes you do want to quote quote clap back, but that's not who I am. And so I think the biggest thing is having a solid foundation in who you are and in Christ. Not to sound, but that's true. You have to have that.
Yeah.
And that is what brings me through is prayer and going and meditating and knowing that, hey, listen, I know who I am. And listen, they talked about Jesus, so who am I? That's the biggest thing for me.
There you go. Don't clap back. Call on the Lord, and He will guide your
Yes,
steps.
He will.
He will keep you from going back and forth with people that you shouldn't be wasting time on anyway.
Exactly.
I am so grateful that I had the opportunity to meet you today.
Likewise.
I've seen you on social media, and I think that you are a light. I think you're doing a great job of pushing back on some of the negative stereotypes that police often find themselves under, whether it's deserved or not.
Yeah,
And I appreciate you for your work in the community. I applaud you for being one of the first, or the crop of the first SocialCon ambassadors, charting into somewhat unknown waters, but I'm sure you guys will do a great job when SocialCon hits June 7th at the 11 Event Center. For more information on SocialCon, you can visit SocialCon's website, socialcon.com, or you can come to KTAL News Now. You can see interviews with Leona. You can see interviews with Tommy Nard, with Callie and Ryan. Everybody has stopped through here to give us their wise words of wisdom, as has Miss Leona Gray. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you for having me.